talk to each other, every time we see each other, we remind each other that God has called us here to a higher purpose. Am I right? Yeah. God has called every single one of us here for a reason. Right? And we're here tonight because God has called Mr. Mike Lindell to a higher purpose. He is starting what's called the Lindell Recovery Network. And he's going to share tonight, he's going to explain to you, he's going to tell you all about what this is. All right? And so I encourage all of you to keep your hearts open, your ears open, and then if God is calling you to be a part of this, respond to that. Respond to that. It's our responsibility to do that. And when God calls, you will hear. Let's start with a word of prayer, and then we're going to have Mike come up. Father, we love you tonight. We love you, and we thank you for this place at this time where we can gather, Lord, to hear about the plans that you've put on Mike's heart. And so, Lord, as we hear from Mike, as we have discussion, as we have questions, as we ultimately, Lord, respond to your calling in our lives, Lord, we just pray that everything we do here tonight, everything we say here tonight, and even, Lord, everything we think here tonight would be glorifying to your name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. I want to welcome Mr. Mike Lindell of My Pillow and Lindell's Recovery Network.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Come a long way. I used to not be able to talk in front of people with no self-worth. I'm gonna bring you back to my story somewhat, and then I'm gonna show you how I took the parts to what we're gonna be doing. And you guys could all be a part of an initial groundbreaking thing that's gonna save millions in this country. So with me, I was a cocaine addict from 1984 until about 2000. Then I switched to crack. I was a very functioning cocaine addict. Crack, who can function on that? And what happened to me was I look back, I can tell you this stuff now. My parents divorced when I was 7, so I put into a new school, and I was very introverted type where I wouldn't talk to people, or I would show off to try and fit in, jump out of a moving bus window, do stuff to get attention, or I'd have bullies come at me or whatever, and I'd say, hey, why don't you do this, and then I would be their friend, But then I got into the 80s, I wasn't where I thought I should be. After, when I got out of high school, went to the U of M, I dropped out. I was working 3 jobs at that time. I didn't know what I wanted to be, and I thought it was a waste of time. And so my 5-year reunion, everybody was finishing college, and they had the same job they always had, so they were moved up in their job, and I was playing pool and working at a drive-in movie theater and at a grocery store. And for me, at my 5-year reunion, I'm bragging to them all that, like, going motorcycling, getting in an accident, going skydiving, and my parachute getting open. All these things that to take away, for the attention, but to make me feel good. But inside, I felt terrible because I wanted what they had. I wanted what they had. That was my block or my mask. And then it got into in the 1980s, so I got into cocaine, and then I could feel good about myself. It would be, I could talk to people and do all these things, but it was masking pain. But I ended up with DWIs and stuff, and I went to treatment centers back then, secular treatment centers, and you'd sit in a group, and the counselor had probably never even, did a drug in his life, and he's trying to tell me I couldn't relate. And then some of the guys, even in my group, I couldn't relate, because some of the stuff I had done, I thought was either way more than them, or they were way, well, I'm not as bad as him yet, So there were these things, and the reason I'm telling you that is I'll get to that point. You've all been through that. Back when I went to treatment in the secular centers, they would shame you and go, oh, you hurt your parents, you hurt your kids, you spent all your money, well then you got out and you didn't have Jesus, and you're going, I feel horrible, and now I don't even have my drugs. You know, I mean, I don't even have that, so, you're walking around, you're waiting for Uncle Ray to die or something to happen so that you can go, well, can you blame him, or maybe, any little bar for these relapses, that's why they don't work. And anyway, then, when, I'll move fast forward now, so I went to all kinds of treatment. I was a compulsive gambler too, naming it and addict to different things. And but I still, raised a family, got up to 2005, or 2004 when I invented my pillow. Now I put all my addicts are, addiction's hard work. We all know that. It's probably the hardest work there is. And that's another thing. All the hard work of addiction, now I flipped it to where God gave me this idea of a pillow, and I put everything into that, and I was turned down everywhere, and I still remember that I was in a crack then, but I was turned down everywhere, and I went to do a kiosk at Eden Prairie, and it failed. We sold very few, but I couldn't work it because I couldn't sell to people face to face because I didn't want to talk to them. I still had that unworthiness spirit. But I happened to be there one day, and this guy came up and he bought a pill, and he said, hey, you got a business card? I said, oh, I'm all out. I didn't know what a business card was. I just wrote my name on a piece of paper and gave him the card. And, well, as a divine appointment would happen, I had to borrow money from my ex-bookie for Christmas presents. We were completely out of money. And in January of that year, that guy called me. The one day I happened to be there, and he said, this pill changed my life. Are you the guy that had this pill? And I said, yeah. He says, this pill changed my life. He said, I run the Minneapolis Home and Garden Center. Would you like a spot there? I saved it back for this product's the best product I ever bought. And I'm going, yeah, okay. So I figured out a way to come up with money for the entrance fee. But I did an interesting thing there, is I put a table in front of me, and I put signage up, and now people coming up, I could talk to people because they had an agenda. I had an agenda, so I talked. If I stepped out from behind it, I couldn't talk. There's no way I would be. If I went out and smoked a cigarette, I'd go, if someone came up behind me that was a smoker, I gotta go back inside, have a good day. My worst nightmare was when I had my bars. If I was sober or straight and someone came into my bar that was from out of town and I was by myself, I would give them a drink and go, hey, let me know if you need something, I'm busy. So I'd be over here dusting bottles going, I hope he leaves, please let him leave. Because I couldn't talk, because you don't get rejected if you don't talk. And that, I think that's very common in addiction. But anyway, so we had this table, but what God did, that show is the very next day after I sold something, the people, everyone that had bought one, it's never happened before, they all came back in and told me how it changed their life. And this was amazing, but it made me feel good inside. It wasn't about the money. It made me give me self-worth and feel good inside. And so anyway, so I did shows and fairs for years. And by 2008, the betrayal and my own addiction had took 20-year marriage. I got divorced. They got to the point where my pillow was just a little pulse, a little heartbeat. And I never broke trust with the show promoters. That was one thing that can be saved, and God protected the platform. But I was actually downtown Minneapolis and had a warrant out for my arrest. I had been up 14 days, and the drug dealers did an intervention on me. They came up and they go, and I come out of the room and they go, I go, what's going on? Well, they knew of each other, but they didn't know each other. It was about, I would say, 5 blocks from here, okay? And he says, Mike's been up for 14 days, and the one guy says he's not getting anything from me or my people. He left. Now the other guy, it was his apartment. He went down the street. He's in my book. He's actually a born-again Christian, works for me now. But he went down the street, said it's his house. The other guy kicks him out and says, you go tell your people that I'm watching Mike. So he sits in the chair, and I had about 5 crack rocks left to smoke them. And I kept looking over, and and finally he went to sleep. So I creep out, and I head down to over there by Park and Franklin. I can't remember where it was, but I head out and I head down the street, and I can't buy crack from anyone. I'm going, I'll give you. Then I started offering, $100 for a $5 rock. Well, that scared people in its own right. No, you're crazy. There's something wrong. But before that, I couldn't buy it anywhere. I got back upstairs, and the dealer's waiting up for me, and it was 2:30 in the morning, about 3 o'clock now, and he goes, man, he said, how'd that work out for you? And I was so upset. And he goes, you've been promising us for years that this pillow is just a platform for God, and you're going to come back someday and help us all. I would tell him that all the time, because I would have these dreams. And he said, we're not going to let you die on us. He said, let me take your picture. You're going to need it for that book you've been telling us about. And I don't know if you've all seen that thing about that got here. That was that picture on there. That is going to be the cover of this book. That's going to draw the eyes for this addiction now. But anyway, I didn't quit there. I slept for 2 days, and then I went out to, I'm going to add this story here, because I just told this the other day. 2 days I slept, and I had to go ahead. I was going to court that following Tuesday, and I was going to be found innocent for real. Okay? I had to take a chance and go out to Carver. We were working out of a little schoolhouse, just me and my brother and a couple of us, and I had to give him these papers for my pillow, or my pillow would not be here. So I had to take a chance and not get caught to deliver these so he could get them to what I can't remember now, the county, wherever it was, or my pillow's gone forever. Well, as it would have it, as I drove into Carver and went this up to the schoolhouse, and here Larry the cop passes me like this. And he wheels around, and I get out, and I'm debating whether to run and try to dodge him. He shoots me, and he goes, Mike, he goes, stop. And I go, Larry, and I have the papers in my hand. This is exactly what I said to him. I go, Larry, I said, if my brother doesn't get these papers, millions of people are going to be affected in the future. It's something to do with God. And I said, an addiction, and I'm telling this, I said, it's a big platform. And I said, it's so and I said, you're going to arrest me anyway. And I said, I'm going to throw you a bone here. I'm going to be found innocent next Tuesday, and if I'm not, you can arrest me anytime you want, and I promise I'll have cocaine on me. and he looked at me, this is word for word, and he looks at me and he goes, call your brother. So he called my brother. I was found innocent the following Tuesday. He let me deliver it. Now 9 years go by. I'm going to go all the way to this fall. And 9 years go by, and I was invited to Texas by the owner of the Dallas Cowboys and stuff, and I didn't want to go. I just said I want to go to my local town parade where I could throw out pillows to the little kids. So we're sitting there in Carver, and all of a sudden you hear, I hadn't seen Larry in 9 years, or 10 years. He pulls up and he gets out of his car and he goes, do you remember what I did? Am I in your book? And I go, Larry. And he goes, Mike. And I get down and he goes, I said, do you remember what you said? Or I said, do you remember what I said? He goes, he named it word for word. And he even put the cocaine in. And you promised me you'd have cocaine. I go, I've been watching you on TV. And he goes, I've seen it all come to fruition. I said, you haven't seen nothing yet. Wait until I launch this network. And I told him, but I said, Larry, why would you believe me? Why would you believe me? And he looked at me and he goes, because you had the passion you had. He goes, you would have passed the line at that test. He goes, your eyes, he says, you were blatantly honest. And he said, I thought, what if he's right? But it was amazing. So that's going to be in the book. The reason I'm telling you that is because God gave me this way back then, and what I'm going to tell you tonight. And here, now, to go back to 2008, after that day, 6 months went by, and things started happening in 2008 that sure have happened. My kid was in the driveway at 17 years old or 18, and he says, I can't live with you anymore. And he's just quivering, and I'm going, wow. I always thought that I wasn't affecting the kids, but when it got, that was my mindfulness to that. So that was one thing, but then something happened in December of that year. I'm all by myself, and losing the place I was living in, so the second place. Well, and the pillow once again was just a little lip, just doing a few shows. Well, anyway, my friend came to me. Now, he had been straight for 3 years, and he was my equal. We had both started cocaine pretty much the same time. We both switched to crack at the same time, both the same age, friends, and he had been straight for 3 years. I heard he found Jesus and found the Lord, but I hadn't seen him in a year. So he came by, and he goes, I go, Dick, what are you doing? He goes, what are you doing? And he goes, He goes, the Lord led me here. And I go, well, you know what? As long as you're here, I got some questions for you. So I started asking him all these questions. The first thing I asked him was, is it boring? He said, no, man, it ain't boring. But what I'm saying is, he was you could sit in any class, but he was my equal that I trusted. I wanted questions from him that were, he'd been there. He's been there where I was, and I knew that. He was my hope. I'm going, wow. But I didn't quit that day. It was another month, and it was on January 16, 2011. And that day, when people say, was that your bottom? I knew for me it was for me, at that moment, I made a deal. I knew that I had this big platform, and I said, God, I made sure I didn't have any money so it would be a good comeback story, And so, I made sure all that was gone. You made sure you're at what they say is bottom. But on January 16, 2009, I said, okay, God, I'll do this platform thing, but I want to wake up in the morning and never have the desire for the drugs or alcohol or cigarettes, everything again. And then I'll do the platform thing. It was basically, that's the deal I made. And it wasn't a full surrender. People say, it wasn't a full surrender. But the next morning I woke up and it was like the movie Groundhog Day. Something's different, And it was gone. And then I'm going, and then things started happening. My whole company was taken by these guys who were stealing my company. To tell you one little funny story. About a week ago, I remember I couldn't talk to people, right? So, and I really feared people today with 3/4 and wore a tie, okay? And so my company was taken. I had to come up with money for this fabric that a guy I broke bread with, he was in my company, and he had taken that. And he goes, no, you have to have cash. And I go, then I knew he was part of this, right? So I said, well, what do you mean they need cash? And he goes, yeah, they told me you need cash. The company was getting the fabric from. And I said, well, can I have some time, or how about next Friday? I just threw that out there. I couldn't come up with 30 grand, and he goes, yeah, the government will give you, probably thinks like he was thinking to call, yeah, they'll give you next Friday at 1 o'clock. So now, a friend of mine, a guy I had met in a bar in Carver, Minnesota, the week before, he had said something, yeah, if you ever need money, I know some Maverick company, they kind of Mavericks, they borrow money, maybe sometime buy into the company or whatever. So I went back to that bar, and I said, hey, did you see a guy in here with a cowboy hat or whatever? No, this is my second day clean. And because my sister, she's going, yeah, pray for favor. I didn't know what favor was. And anyway, I head down to this bar, and I go, yeah, that's Bob. He comes in here about once every 2 months. And he had just been there the last week. And I go, oh. And at that moment in time, he walked through the door. Okay? That exact moment. So he walks through the door, and I go, and I told him, he didn't offer me a beer. That was weird with me. Nobody ever offered me anything again. And I said, Bob, you got those people? And he said, can you get me an appointment? Well, the appointment was the following Friday at 10 a.m. And I had to have money by 1 p.m. And I said, okay, so I basically crossed it off my list. Okay, that's taken care of, in my mind. And that next week comes, and I go walking in there, 10 in the morning. It was at Eden Prairie. I walk in with a pillow and 3 jars of fill. And here they're all lined up like cordwood. There's a CIO, a CEO, a CFO, a CDO, and they're all wearing ties. And I sit down and I start telling them, I just pick on the table, right? So I'm telling them about my bill and what these guys took my company, and I'm going to do shows. I'm going to get my friends to do shows like I've been doing. Someday I'm going to have an infomercial. I used to be a crack cocaine addict, and I went on and on. The guy goes, well, when did you quit crack? And I go, last Thursday. And the guy, now four of them got up and said, for that reason, we're out, like Shark Tank, right? So they thought it was a joke. They're looking for the cameras. And then the other 4 stayed there, and I go, and I'm not kidding. I walked out of there with $30,000 cash. With no contract, just a written IOU, and they never checked my ID. You know why? No, I didn't have an ID. Okay? Well, they got paid back, and that was just a divine thing that God put, they still don't know to this day what we did it for it, and, I do. And anyway, so then I'll swing it up to 2011. My friends and family were all putting money to do this infomercial. And we went, and I started getting my company back a piece at a time, just the shows. And I said, you guys, if nobody will take this, because no box store would take me. I said, what if we bring it right to the people? And we went to film this infomercial, and I wanted it with a real audience, and just me and my friend, because everyone told me you couldn't, no, you can't, you need an actor, and you need all this stuff. And we brought in a real producer, and the night before to do our reads. This friend of mine that, he knew this guy, I knew the guy. And he comes in, this producer from Hollywood, we're doing our reads, and he texts the other guy, said, this is the worst guy I've ever seen, he'll never make it on TV. I said, what did you bring me here for? And he was kind of right. The next day, I walk in to do the lines, and I see a crowd like this, and I'm going, and then pillow, and so we had to throw away the teleprompter and bring in a table, so I had it between me and the audience and do what I did at the shows all those years. And we did it naturally, and it launched. We went from 5 employees to 500 in 40 days when that launched, and it just, and that was God, how everybody got bills. You couldn't, that was like the bread and the fish, or having to feed everyone. There was no way. I look at that now. But now you get up to, now I'm going to get to where, but we took in $100 million, and we were still in debt because there's other guys that took advantage of us. Took advantage of me, and everybody got bills, but we didn't know what we were doing. So I learned from 2012. Everything happened, I took it all in-house, and I learned, and that's something when we learn in life. You look back at something so devastating, and now you look at it, you can look back at it now and say, wow, that really happened in my hobby. And I'm telling you, 2012, when it happened, I took in $100 million in 6 months. It was $5 million in debt, and I didn't use a bank. I'm going, God, what did I do wrong? And I've lost everything. And then things started happening. We took it in-house. But by the summer of 2014, we came roaring back, right? And got out of debt. And like I said, a bank would never give me money anyway. Well, in the summer of 2014, we were within 2 days of going under there. And I met this gal, and she had something I didn't have. She had this relationship with Jesus. She goes, you don't have a relationship. I wear my cross on TV. You've all seen that. I wore it boldly, I'm stick up. I get someone, in my life, we did a crack or cocaine, doing cocaine after the bars closed, and I'd be telling my friends about Revelation I read about in jail in the Bible, and when I was in jail, and they'd be doing lines. Most people think you're a hypocrite. They quit that and I can find Jesus. I go, what am I saying? I'm losing friends. I didn't know what I would say, And so these guys, and this went into 14, though, this gal says, she goes, you don't have this relationship with Jesus. And I said, what are you talking about? And this went, and by the way, I got to backtrack. After those guys did that intervention, 2 months later, I felt led to go to my church. They had an outpatient program called Living Free. In fact, Ray that runs Steve Chung now, he was my counselor. I walked into his counselor back then. I had been on crack and everything for 2 months. And I didn't have the desire, but I wanted to know, why did I have that wound in the first place? Why was I an addict in the first place? And I felt that I was led there. So I walked in and Ray, I met him at the door. It wasn't even class. He goes, I said, yeah, I'm going to end up being your counselor. I said, what is this? I said, you know what, I'm going to have a book someday. I said, I don't cook. I used to be a crack addict. I got 2 months ago. I said, I don't have any desire. And I said, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to have a movie, bro. I'm going to have a platform that's going to help addicts around the world or in the country. I get done with that, all this stuff that I told him. He went home and told his wife. He said, you should have seen this guy that came in. Higher than tight. But when I went in there, when I went into that class, I started telling about, yeah, I did this much drugs, and I did this, and I did this, and all these stories. Well, he said, no, we don't care what you did, we don't care about that. What about your father? He asked me that, he asked me about that. I said, well, I come from divorce, I had a great childhood. And anyway, I learned about these stuff that manifest from addiction, from childhood, or trauma, and all these things. He taught me, but it planted seeds there, okay? So I get out of that, and now I'm going to past the infomercial. Oh, after 14, this gal says this to me. Now in 2015, things started happening to me. I had a dream I was going to be with Donald Trump in a room. I had never met the guy. He wasn't running for president. I'm going, why do I want to meet him? And then he runs for president. And then I ended up at the National Prayer Breakfast, which I'd never been to, and I was drawn on 12 people to pray with Ben Carson in a room. I didn't know Ben Carson, we're best friends now. But I mean, these things that kept happening to me, I always use mathematics and say, if a 1 in a million, I always pray when things were bad back in the day, and God, get me out of this, I'll never do it again. But this was, things started happening, and I go, the odds of this happening are like 1 in a billion, or never could happen to anyone. And if you add them together, when does it become a miracle? Okay, that was me. And things started happening to me. All of a sudden, I'm in the White House, sitting next to the president. I go, who's sitting next to the president? He's going to sit there. He was a manufacturer or something. Well, my friends see me on TV and they go, Jesus is real. With this crack addict sitting next to me in the White House, you know. But for me, it took all those things to lead up to where I went to it was a thing for veterans. It's called Operation Restored Warriors. Very similar to things they do, like here at Salvation Army and things, but this is a condensed thing to do with surrender. Well, anyway, I walked in there with hope, and I walked out of there and had done a full surrender, where Jesus was, became real. He showed up. I had a relationship where now I could be proactive in praying. And I ended up, I went to the U.S. Bank Stadium shortly after that. I don't know if you all know, there was 50,000 millennials there, and I led them in prayer and did my story. A 5-minute version. And when I did that, here's a guy that couldn't talk. And I did it, and 3 weeks later, I'm at Valley Fair, and with my granddaughter and my niece and nephew, and all these millennials and all these people are coming up to me going, I got saved, wow, your speech, that's all they remembered. It was a 4-hour thing, and it kept going, and that was God showing me, you know what? You're doing good, you're doing what I wanted you to do, and it made me feel good that, wow, I must be doing the right path, I'm making the right choices. Finally, my granddaughter said, he's my grandpa, we gotta go on rides, But here, so now, just the last year and a half, what I've done, or what we're setting up, and you guys would be basically ground zero, the start of what I'm going to explain to you now. Taking all the stuff I know about addiction and putting it into this. Imagine a website with my platform I have that out there, and you got a website. So you put in your age and what you're addicted to. Okay, and your number one drug of choice. So let's say it's crack. Now, the stories over here that are all going to come down, they're not stories of bottoms. We've all had that. You know what an addict does? Then they go, wow, I ain't that bad. I'm not ready to jump off the bridge. I can keep on going. Or the other, or you're going, you can't relate. What you can relate to is what you didn't like about the drug. So if I do a crack one, and then you're seeing the picture, you go, wow, how did they get like that? They're just like you guys know. You're out there. You don't say to the addicts now, looking at this, and he goes, so here, I'll do the crack one. I didn't like peeking out windows on crack. I didn't like trying to find baking soda, and we're out. We're going to a restaurant and going in there and just getting a spoon. We're going to a grocery store and happen to go up to checkout grocery store in the middle of the night. You're buying a set of spoons, baking soda, a torch. These are things you didn't like. Or making a promise that you would pass a lie detector test on a promise. I remember doing once when I'm over here doing softball game, and I was going to Christmas. I love holidays with the family. I wanted to do one hit of crack and I'll do softball in there. When there's that one hit of crack, I do that hit of crack, and I can't physically go there. I'll just do one more. Then now it's too late, and it's a deviation from your norm. So I'm going, and now I can't answer the phone. You're on crack, you ain't answering that phone, and then you're wishing that something bad happened to you, so you can tell them 2 days later that, hey, this happened. That's why I couldn't call. Every single crack addict in this room just related to what I just said. Am I right? Yeah. Every single addict, it's a common thing. We did this in one other group about 3-4 weeks ago. It was a teen challenge, just like you guys did with the board game. And I did math. So I said, okay. I asked the audience, how many are on math? So then they started doing their things, what was common to math. One of the things I didn't know. They go into grocery stores, you open up the tin foil, you look around, tear a piece off, put it away. I didn't know that. Or these were women, they're telling me they're using tampons for something to sort when they're injecting, or their piece piece of their shirt or whatever. And if you were going to do soft cocaine, there isn't a soft cocaine addict in the world that hasn't done cocaine on the back of a toilet and sit there and go, okay, there's a guy waiting to use it. You're trying to be quiet while you're shopping because the dogs are okay. You're bouncing on the floor, or you put your thing on there, you know. And this is now, you can have that up for every single drug. Alcohol, LSD, I don't care what it is, these stories, when this addict puts his age and his addiction in, all it is just, all you're doing is saying what you didn't like about the drug. You don't say, you know, oh, it took all my money. They don't, that don't matter. You can say stuff like that, but the stuff is, you've got to get that addict to know, wow, he's been there, because he wouldn't know that stuff, right? They're very simple stories. That's it. That's all you just say what you didn't like about the drug. So now, over here, now the addict is looking, and they're seeing all these pictures, all these people that have been set free, okay? Now, right now in this country, if you go on TV, with addiction, the secular treatment centers are preying on the families. They're not getting the addict to go in, they're preying on the family. Addiction's a disease, and you better help your addict and go cash in your 401k, or you better have insurance and pay 30 grand for 30 days and you get out and, oh, he's not cured yet, you better go cash in more money, you know. And it's not working. So now what I do to this addict now I take over after you see you guys, picture your videos, and now I say, hey, you guys, it's just like I sell my pillow. I go, you know what? They see my story first. They see my whole story, so I get trusted. I know what I'm talking about. So now I go over here. I go, you guys, we have vetted over 3,000 treatment centers that work in this country, which we have. We're up to probably 3,000 right now. And they're all one common denominator, Jesus. They're faith-based, they work. So I tell the addict, you go over here, and I tell them everything you wouldn't go in. One of the reasons you ain't going to go in, you're going to go, well, it's a waste of time. I'm not going to take 6 months or 8 months or 10 months. And I say to them, you know what? You've got to think like an apprentice on life. You go to a job to get a great job when you get out. You got, you go in there, I'll know everything to say. You don't worry about that. I'll get that addict in these centers. And then I'm going to tell them, now here comes key. I'm going to be there when you get out. You get out and you're going to have mentors waiting. And they're paid mentors. And these mentors are going to be all over the country. Salvation Army is already doing it to me. I just talked to Tom. But paid mentors. All of them are paid. And these are your mentors. And let's say you have 20 people. These are full-time careers. Because a lot of, we've all been there. This is our hearts to help other people. You get a lot of people. A lot of you out there, this would be you want to help other people get what you have. Well, anyway, so let's say you're an addict that comes out of the faith base. You can't get a mentor just by coming, I'll say, no, you have to go through the center or one of these centers. Now, when they get through, their mentor, that's their face-to-face mentor, that they have, meetings, whatever you're talking about. There's another thing I'm going to have is an app where it's like a call center around the country. Now, this app, let's say you get out, and this is going to be called where over here you have a hope match, over here you have a relapse match. Let's say that I get out, and some of you guys have been there. Let's say your girlfriend didn't wait, or your wife, or let's say you didn't get the job. You spent all that time going, what do you mean? I did this for whatever. Or let's say Uncle Ray dies, or some tragedy happens. But now your mentor hasn't been through that. So you put in your app, and every single mentor that's out there in this country will have, let's say one of them, you put in, my girlfriend didn't wait for me. And now once it did, his girlfriend would wait, and he will directly connect with him, because now you're talking to someone on your level that's been through that, and he talks to them later, gets them through it. How did you get through it? What did you do? Because then it gives him hope. That's his hope. His mentor might not have had that. His mentor might not have had his kids that still hate him, or whatever it is, But by putting in that mentor, that match, now we've done this, and then I'm adding one more thing to it called Lake. We launched a 2-day program. I can tell you about later but putting this all in a circle, it takes, because we've done part of it. I tested it in Florida. I tested it where you stories, but to get that addict, if you're an addict at home, all you're doing is you're bringing them in, and I believe what's going to happen is now all the centers that are up here, what Salvation Army is one of the best, because a lot of the stuff that God gave me, it's already been done, and with the mentors and everything. So with this whole circle, the success rate is going to be off the charts, and to magnify that, you're taking every piece, you're reaching out to the addict. Here's our hope. They need hope. Here's the hope, and here's somebody like me that, here's somebody, all my friends have quit crack now, not just when they see the president, I'm me sitting next to that, but I gave them hope. We didn't have anybody out in the western suburbs that, we were all of us were on crack, you're not in the bars anymore, you're peeking out windows. We were every single one of us have quit. 2 of them didn't quit, they died. They didn't make it until they had the hope. And 2 of them had strokes, but they've all quit. Because they see what I can do. So by an addict seeing someone, an example of hope over here, but they got to know they've been like him. So the stories we're looking for are just whatever your drug was. And then we have some of the stories like, here's one. We were doing the stories at Teen Challenge, because I wanted it for every drug. Well, there's no chronic LSD users. I'm sorry, you don't use it every day, okay? But these guys put in, they'll put in, and every LSD story was the same when they did do it. So at least if this guy did put it in, he can relate that, wow. You know what I mean? I did it one time. I left the scariest thing I ever did. And while I was showing up, the guy said, take a quarter hit, and 3.5 hits, just not doing anything. I ended up, for 1 week, I was looking for, if everybody remembers the World Book Encyclopedia, I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, you're free to go. I go, I'm still inside a bubble. For 7 days, I called every doctor in that encyclopedia, probably in the world, ran up a phone bill back in the 1980s that was off the charts going, am I going to be stuck like this? And they're going, what? But it was, and I had someone back then that had been honest and know you're going to get through it. My friends are going, no, man, you might not get through it. You don't get that much. Nobody gets that much. You're on your blood pressure started crying. I did the same thing with mushrooms. They had 3.5 grams of mushrooms, a whole bag. The first time I did it, I don't see you doing nothing. And I was bartending, and all of a sudden, it ain't good. That's to have those things in there to where every addict in every age group, to where they can pull it and say, wow, there's the hope. So that's, and this is going to work in with my platform, with my book that's coming out. The book's called What Are the Odds for Crack Addicts to CEO. In the book, I do that. I say, when you tell people if God exists or not, just say, that was a 1 in a million, that was a 1 in a billion. Well, this never happens. We've all had miracles, everyone in this room. And you're going, if you add it together, it has to be God. You can't explain it. And in the book, though, what I'm doing is I'm not selling it in any place in this country other than my website that's going to point you all to this recovery network. So that the addicts, it's getting you're buying the money from it is going to go where? It's going to go to the recovery network to pay the mentors and stuff. I don't need to help you, even though they all want to put money in and know that they do all want to get on board. But I don't want anybody, I don't take any money right now because I don't want anybody bossing me around telling me how to change we think it might work this way. No, I really believe this way. Now I'd like to ask any of you for questions or any other ideas, or what do you think of this idea right now? Okay, that's a good question. The addicts to get to the website. I'm on 2,000 radio stations where I can go on radio, but I'm also going to have a 1-hour show where I'm going digital. Everybody's got a cell phone. So we're going to have this app on there, and then like I say, when my book comes out, everything's directing. I get, even if it's like what we did here in Minneapolis, I went on KQRS. What was it, last summer, Tom? When KQRS and WCCO, I told about the Salvation Army. This place, all these, we had grandmothers that call their neighbor, going, hey, little Johnny, my Lindell says this is a great thing to do. And it worked in a town. We had to scale it because otherwise you'd overrun the Salvation Army. All you had to do was go on and tell it. So getting the word out to the addicts, it's going to grow so fast. You're going to have other baby boomers and X's, like let's say you're looking for the millennials or whatever, the 20-year-olds and 25-year-olds. You're going to, because everybody knows who I am, God gave me that platform. And they're going to say, hey, go look up this app. All you got to do is tell the app, hey, look up this app. Mike Lindell's on there, you know, and then they're going to go through it. I had a website once. Every night I looked at it, was called The Devil's Candy. It was called, all it was about crack, you know. And this guy had this amazing way to get on crack, you know. He's with the network, with the recovery network, But I looked at night after night after night after night, and I got pieces from it, and I don't know if those seeds helped me to finally end up, you know, but I planted good seeds.
So like you're going to be funding like Salvation Army or there's funding
For the mentors? No, the treatment centers, all the treatment centers, that's not, I vetted them, so the treatment centers just agreed, well, you don't call the Lindell recovery number, the addict doesn't call, so you know what, it would be a disaster. I don't have enough people on duty. I'm just taking, here's the best way to get out. Salvation Army, Teen Challenge, Unity Gospel, St. Matthew's House. I could go on 7 Corner Street in Indiana, all the ones that work. These are the ones that work. So they're up here if they want to be, because they're going to fill up, real fast, and then we're going to build more. We're going to duplicate it, and we're going to duplicate it. You duplicate what's worked. We're doing what's called Life Relaunch. It's where I got saved in that retreat. That was a 5-day thing. It's a 2-day thing. We've already doing it in the prisons. And when because the prisons are another, what I want to do is, before their sentence, is I want to take and say, you know what, in lieu of that, you go into these long-term centers without, and that's where the government money, what I'm going to tell the president, that's where you should take your money there and say, here, instead of putting them in jail, the ones that have been, your drug, your crimes that they can go in and put them in the centers and pay for that to the centers so you can build more. You're using that to build more of what works rather than not sat in jail solitary 19 days. And other than that, that didn't do anything. With my ADHD, I was ready to crawl out of my skin. You know?
About an initiative that he has going on as well, and then we're all going to go upstairs and enjoy canteen, okay? All right.
Thanks for having us. Tom, Judy, you guys are amazing. Had a chance to meet with Amy. What an amazing team they have here. And I just wanted to say, our team, we drove all the way up here from Florida, South Florida, for this story. We produced a TV show called Answering the Call. And we highlight.
I met Chuck in a divine appointment at the National Witness Broadcast.
Right. Last August, one of my board members said, I need to meet this guy, and next thing you know, we're in the same room.
Every one of those.
Yeah. So yeah, 99, I was a crackhead too, and God rescued me. Now we have a TV show highlighting ministries in action in 105 million households. So when the timing's right, I interviewed some of the staff today with Cindy and Melissa and Kelly, and God is building a team, and you guys are part of it. So when you step out of the boat to do something for God, I just want to, you guys already know about spiritual warfare. The devil's just not going to sit back and let you go win souls for Christ without a little bit of opposition. But you got to remember that greater is he who's in you than he who's in the world. Amen. Satan's a chump. He's defeated. We have a greater power in us. So, you might be able to build a pattern that you can't touch. Right? So, we are doing this segment on...
I'm trying to be able to talk like
He is. So, listen, we watch TV and we see these great preachers, ordained theologians, but I'm telling you, we're going to ordain Mike today, and we're going to ordain you guys because you're in the ministry. Ephesians 4:11 says, Jesus gave some to be apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers to equip the body for the work of ministry. The body part does all the work. We're all the worker bees that make all the honey, and we're so used to watching preachers do all the talking, we almost think that's ministry, but he's like a head coach trying to get the team to play. And that's what Mike's doing. He's leading up a team, and we just want to pray over you, and we're starting to gather some of these testimonies when the time's right. With this book coming out in September, What Are the Odds? The Crackhead, the CEO, we want people to read that book, and we want people to get involved with the Recovery Network. And and we're excited to partner in the gospel, share the God story. God has a ministry for each one of you, and I just want to say this one last thing. The space shuttle, it takes a lot of people to build a space shuttle and put on the platform, and it's not there on display just for everybody to look and say, wow, how pretty that space shuttle looks. What does it do? Eventually it launches on a mission, right?
Right.
You guys are like the space shuttle right here on the launch pad getting equipped for a mission. And do not let the enemy talk you out of completing this program. Until Tom and Trudy and the leadership here says, you're done, you're ready to go, do not leave here. I've seen people leave programs a week before graduation and wind up dead 2 years later in a trailer overdose. So the people that look at your life and say, God is done with you, you're ready for the next chapter, and they bless you on the way out the door, that's when you know you're ready. Because the enemy is going to try to talk you out of what you said, God, I want to do. So I just want to leave you with that. So if all you guys by faith can just raise your hand towards Mike, because he's about ready to launch a really big endeavor that's going to piss the enemy off. Really, really bad. So if it hasn't already, right? So Father, in the name of Jesus, the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony, that's how we overcame the evil one. We just thank you for the power of the Holy Spirit in us. We thank you for the group that gathered today, that shared their story, their testimony by faith. We're opening up our heart, we're opening up our lives so others can see what you've done. You get all the glory for it. We thank you for the team that you brought together and what's about to be brought together. We just pray a hedge of protection over Mike, MyPillow, the company, and the Lindell Recovery Network, that you would give them wisdom and a hedge of protection against the fiery darts of the enemy to try to stop what you're going to do through this network. We know you see every addict struggling right where they're at. They're in the muck and the mire, and they're crying for help. So I pray you continue to raise up an army right here, right now, to go seek and search out and rescue those that are in darkness and bring them into this wonderful light of fellowship that we've been able to experience with you. So we ask you to bless Mike and his team, and we ask you to do this in the mighty name of Jesus. Everybody agrees with that, says, Amen.
Hi, I'm Pastor Chuck Reish. I'm the executive producer at Horizon Media Studios. It's a 501c3 media ministry, and what we're doing is helping other ministries tell their story. Homeless shelters and children's homes, Bible colleges, seminaries, mission-sending agencies. With your help, we can continue to help tell their story, to inspire the world, to shine their light, and let God get the glory for the work that's being done in advancing the kingdom of Jesus Christ. Thanks again for praying for us.